Everyone tells you that buying a Porsche 911 is the easy part, but owning one is where the nightmare begins. We've all heard the horror stories, the $500 oil change, the $3,000 brake job, and the legendary Porsche tax that seems to double the price of every nut, bolt, and washer just because it comes in a gray box with a crest on it. For years, this myth has kept enthusiasts away from their dream cars. People settle for something sensible because they're afraid a single trip to the dealership will result in a second mortgage. But here is the secret that the dealerships don't want you to know. The Porsche 911 is one of the most well-engineered, robust, and, dare I say, logical cars ever built. It wasn't designed to be a fragile garage queen. It was designed to be driven. And because it's engineered with logic, it can be maintained with logic. If you are willing to get your hands a little dirty, do some smart shopping, and shift your mindset, you can maintain a 911 for a fraction of what the average owner pays. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to navigate the world of budget Porsche maintenance without sacrificing the performance or safety of your machine.
Before we pick up a wrench, we have to address the Porsche tax. This isn't a government levy, it's a markup applied by service centers and parts departments. The moment a mechanic sees those 5-lug wheels and that iconic silhouette, the labor rate tends to climb. Why? Because they assume if you can afford the car, you won't question the invoice. The first step to maintaining a 911 on a budget is breaking this psychological barrier. You have to realize that at its core, a 911 engine is still an internal combustion engine. It needs air, fuel, spark, and lubrication. A 997 or a 991 isn't a spaceship, it's a car. Once you stop being intimidated by the badge, you start seeing the savings. If you take an out-of-warranty 911 to a Porsche main dealer, you are essentially paying for the espresso machine in the lounge and the shiny floor in the showroom. Dealerships have massive overhead, and their business model relies heavily on service revenue. For a 911 that is 5, 10, or 20 years old, the dealership is rarely the right choice. Instead, your greatest ally is the Indie, the independent Porsche specialist. These are often former dealership master technicians who started their own shops because they love the cars, not the corporate bureaucracy. An independent shop will usually have a labor rate that is 30 to 50% lower than the dealer. More importantly, an independent mechanic will talk to you like a human being. They will tell you what needs to be fixed today and what can wait until next season. How do you find one? Don't just Google it. Go to the forums, Renlist, 6Speed Online, or the Porsche Club of America (PCA) regional sites. Ask the local community who they trust. A good indie doesn't need to advertise. Their reputation travels by word of mouth. Finding the right mechanic is the single most important financial decision you will make as a Porsche owner.
If you really want to save money, you have to be willing to do the basics yourself. Let's talk about the oil change. A Porsche dealership might charge you anywhere from $400 to $700 for a 911 oil change. That is insanity. If you do it yourself, you're looking at about $80 to $100 in materials. Most 911s take about 8 to 9 liters of high-quality synthetic oil, like Mobil 1 or Motul, and a filter. The process is straightforward. Drain the oil, replace the filter element, and refill. Even on a modern 991 where the oil filter is accessed from the top of the engine, it's a 30-minute job. By doing this one task yourself once a year, you've already saved enough to pay for your insurance for a couple of months. The same applies to air filters and cabin filters. In many 911 models, the cabin filter is located under the frunk plastics or behind the glove box. It takes 5 minutes to change and costs $20. A dealer will charge you $100 for the part and another $100 for the labor. These are low-hanging fruit savings that require almost no mechanical skill.
This is the biggest hack in the Porsche world. Porsche does not manufacture their own spark plugs, filters, brake pads, or sensors.
They outsource these to original equipment manufacturers, OEMs, like Bosch, Mali, MAN, Brembo, and Sebro. When you buy a genuine Porsche spark plug, you are getting a Bosch plug inside a Porsche-branded box. The price for that box is often double or triple the price of the exact same Bosch plug in a Bosch box. When you are shopping for parts, always look for the OEM equivalent. Websites like Pelican Parts, FCP Euro, and Warehouse 33 allow you to filter by OEM. Special mention must go to FCP Euro's lifetime replacement guarantee. This is a game changer for budget maintenance. They offer a lifetime warranty on everything they sell, including oil, brake pads, and wipers. You buy the oil, use it, and when it's time for the next change, you send the old oil back and they credit you for the new stuff. It sounds too good to be true, but for the high-mileage driver, it's the ultimate budget loophole.
A Porsche 911 eats tires. Specifically, it eats rear tires. Because of the rear engine layout, the weight distribution puts immense pressure on those wide rear wheels, especially during acceleration. You can easily spend $2,000 on a set of N-rated tires at a dealership. To save money, stop buying N-rated tires unless you are tracking the car or are a purist. N-rated just means the tire was specifically tuned and approved by Porsche. However, modern tires from Michelin, Continental, or Bridgestone that aren't N-rated are often technologically superior to the N-rated tires developed 5 years ago. Shop at places like Tire Rack or local discount tire shops. Also, ensure your alignment is perfect. A $50 alignment check can save you from replacing a $1,000 pair of rear tires prematurely due to uneven wear. Next, let's talk brakes. Porsche brakes are world-class, but the components are surprisingly simple to replace. A brake job, pads and rotors at a dealer can exceed $3,000. If you buy Sebro rotors and Techstar pads, the OEM suppliers, and do the work yourself, you can do all 4 corners for under $800. The 911 uses a fixed caliper design that makes pad swaps incredibly easy. On many models, you don't even have to remove the caliper to change the pads. Finally, don't ignore your fluids. Brake fluid is hygroscopic, meaning it absorbs water over time. If you don't flush it every 2 years, that water will corrode your ABS pump and calipers. A $20 bottle of fluid and an hour of bleeding to brakes prevents a $3,000 repair. It's the definition of budget maintenance. Spend a little now to avoid spending a lot later. Budget maintenance isn't just about fixing things cheaply, it's about making sure they don't break in the first place. There are 3 things every budget-conscious 911 owner should do. First, buy a battery maintainer. Porsches are notorious for parasitic draw. If the car sits for more than a week, the battery starts to drain. Modern 911s are basically rolling computers, and low voltage causes all sorts of ghost errors in the ECU, PASM, and PDK systems. These errors can lead to expensive, unnecessary diagnostic fees at a shop. A $60 C-Tech charger will keep your battery healthy for years and keep the computers happy. Second, clean your radiators. The front air intakes on a 911 are vacuum cleaners for leaves, cigarette butts, and road debris. This gunk gets trapped between the AC condenser and the radiator, where it rots and causes the aluminum to corrode. Eventually, your radiators will leak, costing you over $1,000 to replace. Once a year, take the front bumper off, it's just a few screws, and vacuum out the debris. It costs nothing but your time and saves you a massive headache. Third, watch your warm-up procedure. This is a free way to extend the life of your engine. Most 911 engine failures, like bore scoring or IMS issues in older models, are exacerbated by poor lubrication during cold starts. Don't just wait for the water temp to rise, wait for the oil temp to reach at least 180 degrees Fahrenheit before you push the car. Thick, cold oil doesn't lubricate as well. Patience is the cheapest engine insurance you can buy. We have to be honest here. You are still driving a high-performance German sports car.
While we can minimize the costs, you cannot eliminate them. A budget 911 owner should always have a rainy day fund, ideally between $1,500 and $2,000, sitting in a dedicated account. This isn't money for oil changes or tires. This is for the unforeseen. Maybe a window regulator fails or a coolant pipe cracks. Having this cash ready means a repair is a minor inconvenience rather than a financial crisis that forces you to sell the car. Maintaining a 911 on a budget is about being prepared, not being cheap. There is a difference between budget and neglect. Neglecting a Porsche is the most expensive mistake you can ever make. If you own a modern 911, 996 and newer, you need an OBDI scanner. I'm not talking about a $5 Bluetooth dongle, but something specific to Porsche, like an iSoft or an Autel unit. These usually cost between $100 and $200. Why is this a budget tool? Because every time a check engine light or a service now reminder pops up, a mechanic will charge you $100 just to plug their computer in. With your own scanner, you can read the codes, understand the problem, and reset the service intervals yourself after your DIY oil change. It pays for itself the second time you use it. Knowledge is power, and in the Porsche world, knowledge is also money.
The final piece of the budget puzzle is the community. You are not alone in this journey. Thousands of people have faced the exact same mechanical issues you will face. Before you ever agree to a major repair, post your symptoms on the forums. People will often diagnose your problem for free and point you towards a $10 fix instead of a $1,000 replacement. Furthermore, keep a meticulous service binder. Document every oil change, every part you bought from FCP Euro, and every time you cleaned your radiators. When the time comes to sell your 911, a well-documented DIY maintained car is often worth more to an enthusiast than a dealer-maintained car with no records. It shows that the owner truly cared for the machine and understood its mechanics. Maintaining a Porsche 911 on a budget is entirely possible if you are proactive rather than reactive. By finding a trusted independent shop, sourcing OEM parts, performing basic DIY tasks, and staying on top of preventative maintenance, you can enjoy the Neunelfer experience without the financial stress. The 911 is a masterpiece of engineering. It deserves to be driven, and it deserves to be cared for. Don't let the fear of the Porsche tax keep you from the driver's seat. Respect the car, learn its quirks, and use your head. You'll find that the cost of ownership isn't a barrier, it's just another part of the adventure. Now, I want to hear from you. What is the most ridiculous quote a dealership has ever given you for a simple repair? Let me know in the comments below, and let's help each other keep these cars on the road where they belong.